you're so fucking stupid. It's actually like laughable. Look at this fucking guy. Let me build a fucking zero move speed cleric build. That'll work out. Moron. Yeah. You enjoy your running.
Not really talking now. What happened there, little cubby? Little slow boy.
Fuck up!
Little slow.
We're good now, we're good, we're good. We're in business. We're in business.
Thought I was a moron. What happened? Am I still a moron?
No, you still are, you still are. Oh! I didn't mean to do that. That was almost bad.
Oh, use judgment. Oh, sh Little hoe, little bitch. Fuck down. Again. Son of a bitch, I'm in.
Hands up, Jonas.
Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Zep here, and today I have a new cleric build for you. Well, it's not really new. It's a little bit changed from our older cleric build. We'll be taking a full buff duration kit. We'll be taking Brewmaster, Faithfulness, Perseverance, and Blunt Weapon Mastery, maximizing our damage, getting our on-hit slow with Smite Faithfulness, getting our damage reduction with Perseverance, and because of buff duration, it works so well with Smite and Divine Protection and Brewmaster, like you're getting the trifecta from building buff duration. Right now my buff duration is 55.5%, and that means my Smite lasts 55.5% longer, my Divine Protection lasts 55.5% longer, and my Brewmaster, my drinking, my alcoholic, it lasts a bit longer too. Instead of 15 seconds, it's usually about 23 to 24 seconds, you know, depending on how much buff duration you have. But it's pretty big when not only do you get 4 strength from this, you get 10 more, so you get 14 strength. So it gives you a nice little chunk of health and a bit of damage going into whatever fight you're going to be going into. I find this really good in solos. I don't think much can beat it since all the magic just got nerfed in the last patch. Warlocks are kind of down, wizards are kind of down, and also they fixed the ranger shotgun, so you can't get like easy 5 headshots by just aiming and jumping and like aiming down. Yeah, I think it's pretty good. I'm usually sitting around 130 to 140 health. Usually about 310 to 315 move speed. Action speed is usually anywhere between 6 and 10. What really makes this build pretty good is our PDR is usually between 30 and 35. It can be up to 40. It depends on what we're doing. I'll go into it later, but there's a few different things you can do with this build. A few different variants that you could run. You can run robes with top of helm or hound skull, or you can run like a champion armor with a chapelle de fur. Honestly, I think a champion armor with a chapelle de fur is good, but I'm starting to think that the robes with like a hound skull, or especially a top of helm, since they just changed the stats on those, is actually much better. The problem is it's much more expensive, and I'll show you what I mean later. But for now, our PDL is going to be anywhere between 30 and 40, right? And then once we activate Divine Protection, it goes from, you know, it's sitting at 60 to 70, which basically makes us like damn near, you know, pretty fucking strong against any physical damage dealing opponents. Our magic resist also isn't too bad either. It's 15.5. If we're to take a robes approach, a top of helm robes approach, our stats change a little bit. So now we're at 314 move speed. You actually gain move speed by using the heavier helm and the lighter chest overall. Our physical damage reduction is 30% instead of like the 33. But here's the thing, we can put on a double PDR buckler instead of a 1 damage buff duration like lantern and kind of make up for that. So we'd definitely be sitting around 40% with the buckler out. And then once we hit our divine prot, we would definitely be up to 70%. And that's pretty strong considering, you know, we have 24% headshot damage reduction on this top of helm, or like a 23% on a hound skull, because you can still run the hound skull too. Very comparable stats. The only difference between a top of helm and the hound skull gives you a little bit more health. So 137 with the hound skull, 135 with the top of helm, but this one has 3 health, so it'd be less. And this one has health up too, but it doesn't matter. But also the move speed, or not so much the move speed, but the also the magic resist. Top of helm doesn't have any magic resist negatives like a hound skull does, and it gives will. With the hound skull, you see I'm at 18, or I'm at 22.5% with the top of helm, and then with the hound skull, I'm at 18%, so at least 4.5. And then the PDR is also better at top of helm. This is a blue top of helm and it has 45. This purple hound skull has 44. The top of helm overall is just way better. It's just very expensive to get a top of helm with agility, and you know, even more so if you want agility and health. So yeah, but you can also run just a chapelle and the champion armor because that's really cheap too. And I'll get into the gearing here. Let's just get into it right now because honestly there's not much to explain about this build. You just kind of run at the enemy and hit them with Smite and Divine Prot. Even if you can't reach them with your weapon out, like if you're chasing a ranger or a rogue, you can always pull out a torch and just hit Smite. You don't get slowed down at all when you have the torch out. And Smite torch, the torch actually counts as a blunt weapon for blunt weapon mastery. If you're ailed up with the torch out, you're doing like crazy, like it's not crazy damage, but your physical power bonus is almost like near 30% because we get 10 plus this, so it's 13%, and then plus 14% on top of that because the ail, so it's 27%. That just with this physical power bonus, which isn't much because I don't have much build because my strength is only like 18. But yeah, 27% physical power bonus. So I know a torch doesn't do a whole lot of damage, so you're not gaining a whole lot, but still like. Smite on top of that, the Smite magical damage, like you're hitting them for a bit, and you have to force them to make a decision. Because odds are, with a torch out at 311, you know, some characters you'll be faster than. Any magic classes like warlocks or wizards, I'll immediately drop my chest if I'm running champion armor. Puts me at 323. So, and again, like I don't really lose much stats. Like I'm 19 PDR, 33 PDR. The PDR is not going to matter against wizards and warlocks a whole lot. Your magic resist, you know, I go from 15, and I take it off, I go to 11, but again, and then our health, we take a negative. You know, we lose about 9 health, because this does have a max health roll on it. But it's going to be worth it to gain that movement speed, and to jump onto any wizard or warlock or, you know, magic user that you're going to be going against. I think it's very, very much worth it to stick to them. So you can kill them much faster. If you want, once you hit them once with Smite Faithfulness, it's pretty much over. Like they're gonna die in 2 hits. You know, I'd be surprised that they live past 2 headshots. But yeah, the whole taking off the chest thing, you can't really do that with like a Top of Helm or a Helm Skull, because I mean you don't really gain much move speed, but at the same time, you gain a little bit more move speed overall, and also like. Your magic resistance is pretty good. Like this is 22.5 compared to the champion armor, 15. So yeah, you don't really need to strip down your chest if you're running the robes and plate helm setup. But again, robes plate helm is definitely a bit more expensive than champion armor, Chapelle de Fer, and we can get into that right now with the gearing, since it's not much more to explain. Okay, as far as gearing goes on these kits, what you want to do is either make a decision if you want to spend big bucks or little bucks. Well, let's just say medium bucks or big bucks. There's no little bucks really in this kit. You're gonna be aiming for, if you have a medium budget like 3 to 5k, I would go with the champion armor. The purple champion armors are really cheap right now, so let's look up champion armor, and we're gonna go health just to show this off. Health that are epic. 26 pages of epic champion armors that have plus max health on them. Look at this. This is a plus 6 max health buff duration for 235. Insta buying that shit. That's best in slot for this build. So search up health and buff duration. There's probably not nearly as many. There's one. There's one left. That one's for 800. So we just got a crazy good deal for that one that was 200. So yeah, definitely buy stuff like this. And they'll be on the market. Like they're still flooding the market like every day, because there's a quest that's a quest reward for epic champion armor. That's why there's so many of them on the market. Like if you just search champion armor purple, there's over 189 pages of them. So it's definitely saturated. So people are looking up the price, seeing how cheap these are, and then just listing them without like doing their full research and realizing that buff duration is actually a pretty sought after stat, especially with clerics, where you get the triple trifecta of the Brewmaster benefiting from it, the Divine Protection benefiting, and the Smite benefiting all from it. But yeah, I definitely go with that on the cheaper end. If you want to be more expensive, you go for the Ruby Silver vestments with max health. Those tend to be a bit more expensive, usually, because, even though Ruby Silver vestments are a quest item, a lot more classes want the Ruby Silver vestments, especially with max health. So yeah, they're looking at 800 minimum for a plus 3. This one's pretty good. Agility 5 health and buff duration. I'm actually gonna wink that. Agility, health, and buff duration is like the perfect 3 stats. 800's a bit pricey, but still pretty good. As far as the chest, you're gonna get a Chapelle de Fer with buff duration. Any other stat really doesn't matter. I mean, bonus points if it has health, physical damage reduction, or some kind of action speed or dex. Those are pretty good. Just moving down the top of the line, we had a chest and our helm established. Also, again, you can go top of helm, but the problem with this is, like, let me just show you. Chapelle de Fer, epic, buff duration. Let's just see, actually. So yeah, there's not that many. 400 is the minimum. Let's go rare. They're piss cheap rare. You're not losing a whole lot of stats there, you know what I'm saying? So no shame in buying the blue ones, man. There's only 4 pages of them, and they're like 50 gold each. Like, just go crazy on those, you know what I'm saying? So let's just look up top of helm in comparison to these. So these are 35. Top of helm with buff. Still pretty cheap, honestly. But let's just go, like, let's say if we want agility and buff duration. Let's see how bad this is. There's one on the market, bro. It's going to be a lot harder to get buff duration on the helm, I think, for a top of helm in general. Search buff duration in general. There's 2 pages of them. Not a whole lot, honestly. I'm sure there's even less epic, so yeah. So you can definitely do the top of helm, or yeah, minimum is 390, kind of like Chapelle de Fer. I think the Chapelle de Fer champion armor build is fine, especially because you can drop your champion armor to get even faster than you would with just the top up in this, because this is 314. But if you go champion with Chapelle, I mean, yes, you're 3 less move speed. You can drop this against any magic user, go 323, which is what you're gonna need to do, and that's faster than you'd be with with the top of helm vestments anyway. So something to consider, and you have options here. So it's always nice to have options, like weigh what you're gonna do, versus what you need to do. Pants every time, no matter what. 5 or 6 health, and then buff duration, ideally. This one I got a good deal on it. It was 2 dex, 10% buff duration, so we still have those. In the next week or two, we'll probably get a Brave Hunter's Pants, which will replace the loose trousers. You want Brave Hunters with health and buff duration, ideally, but those are very expensive. Good thing about Brave Hunters coming out is it will make these loose trousers cheaper, because right now they are a bit on the expensive side. At least like 600 gold, usually. I think for most people that is pretty pricey, but yeah. Yeah, 545. And down to 700 and 800. There's less and less of them every day. There's only 3 pages of them, so yeah. Definitely a harder find for this build for sure. But you can always settle for like buff duration vigor, buff duration action speed. You know, just make sure they have buff duration on, because the chest and the pants, you definitely want your buff duration because it can roll up to 10%. Chest, pants, and amulet can roll up to 10%, so you definitely want to get buff duration on those 3 pieces when you're picking and choosing. Light gauntlets, you're always going to get health and buff duration if you can. Again, just like the champion armor, there's a quest reward for the light gauntlets. The armor, I believe, gives per epic light gauntlets as a quest reward. So we can do health and buff duration. Let's just see if there's any on the market. There's 2. There's not that many. Yeah, 2 total. But again, like, I do this now as an example, but there will be much cheaper ones throughout the day. Because if we look, let's just look at max health, there's 24 pages of them. See, people are buying out the buff duration health ones because I think somebody made a video on a warlock build that may be best in slot for the same pieces, so I think that's that might be what has something to do with it. But let's just look at buff duration and see how many buff duration epic light gauntlets there are. Yeah, there's some that are really cheap here. 85, 111. That was armor rating, that's not bad at all if you can't find health. What else we got? This power armor pen's pretty good. But yeah, this 1% physical damage reduction is excellent. But yeah, you can definitely find something if you can't find the max health. Like PDR armor rating is a fantastic second choice, honestly. Moving past the gauntlets again, quest reward, light gauntlets, quest reward champion armor. That's why those are like really good. And also quest reward ruby silver vestments, but that quest is one of the first ones, so the supply is running a little bit more drier on the vestments than the champion armor. The champion armor just came out like last week as a quest reward, so yeah, bear that in mind. Boots, I like going laced turn shoes with a move speed roll and buff duration if I can get it. Not the end of the world if I can't, but yeah, they're really nice to have. I like the agility. The agility makes you open doors faster, attack faster, move faster. Not so much move faster as much as like lightfoot boots. Like if we can, let me just put on the full kit and compare. So yeah, 311 in the standard kit. Put on the light boots, 313, right? Well, how much action speed do I lose? 6.2. So I lose 1.2% action speed and gain 2 movement speed. It's a pretty equal exchange, I would say, as far as those stats. And usually lace turn shoes are a bit cheaper. You're easier to find really good lace turn shoes with secondary stats, like buff duration, physical damage reduction, than it is it's usually harder to find those on light boots, because light boots are more like coveted by all the classes, so I usually like going lace turn shoes. But I won't pass up a good pair of cheap light foots either with the move speed roll on them. I usually buy epics with move speed roll on them, so yeah. Best thing you can get is a lantern with buff duration and add weapon damage. These aren't usually too expensive. Again, having the lantern out will increase the duration of your smite and your divine protection. It won't increase the duration of your ale, because you can't have the ale out and have the lantern. You can't drink the ale while having the lantern out at the same time. It's something to consider, but add weapon damage, just to see. Yeah, these are pretty cheap, about 200 per. It goes up to 250 pretty quick. Again, only 3 pages of them, but you don't have to have buff duration on them. There's 34 pages of add weapon damage. Pretty easy to acquire, honestly, on the market. Never a shortage of those. Right, and then what else? Ideally, instead of a lantern, if you got big bucks, you get a double PDR buckler. Double PDR bucklers are really good, and it'll get you that extra gap so you can reach that, you know, PDR cap 70-75% PDR. I forget if it's 70% PDR or 75 is the cap. I actually do not know. But if you can get the best, you can get yourself to 40 the better. Typically, in a really good set, you're only around like 30 to 33. With the buckler, you're definitely like 40 to 45. So let's see here. Let's add weapon damage. Let's do additional armor rating with physical damage reduction. Yeah, minimum's like 700 to 800. Again, you don't need the buckler. The lantern with the add weapon and buff is perfect. Like, there's no shame in using this. And you're faster while you're moving and attacking too anyway, so that's pretty important when you're fighting barbs. I mean, the PDR is nice too, but having to be able to move a little bit faster because the Lantern doesn't have a move speed penalty, and the Buckler has a -12. I like W King Barbs with two-handers specifically because I can kind of force them to sour spot a bit more, and just do less damage overall, which is really nice when I have to buy protection up. So yeah. Also, we like to get. Let's see. I think I did most of the core pieces of the gear. Typically trying to aim for a Morningstar with buff duration and health, if I can. I think that was perfect. So that magic damage bonus, max health, and buff dura. Max health, buff dura. I always go for max health, buff dura. You can go additional weapon. Max health, buff dura is probably the best at slot, but you don't need the additional weapon damage, honestly. You're going to be doing a shit ton when you drink an ale. Your physical power bonus is going to be like 25 to 30%. Your ale and blunt weapon mastery, so you definitely have no shortage of damage. That's why I really aim for the health and the buff duration if I can get that. A neck, you really want to go for a fox pendant with health and buff duration. This is like best in slot. This is health, buff duration, and action speed. Yeah, anything with health and buff duration. You don't need to spend a whole lot on these, but yeah, health and buff duration is definitely the best in slot. Because ideally you want to be sitting around like 130 HP at least with these kits on. These kits usually run between like 4,000, 5,000 gold at this point in the wipe. So, cloak. You can do a Cloak of Darkness with buff duration or a Adventure Cloak with buff duration. I like a Cloak of Darkness because it gives so much more move speed, honestly. I'm at 311 with a Epic Adventure Cloak, right? Here's a 1.4% Cloak of Darkness. I go from 311 to 313. So I gain 2 whole move speed. The Cloak gives me 2 on its own, and this gives me 4. So this gives me double the move speed basically. Than that Cloak does, so this is really good. I mean, the agility is nice though. I can't knock on the agility because again, the action speed, right? 6.2 with this on. And I go down to 5.5, so lose a bit of move speed, you know, gain a bit of action speed. It's all on your preference, really, but I find the Cloak of Darkness to be better overall, to be honest. And as far as rings go, honestly, I just kind of get any epic ring with buff duration on it. There's a quest reward out right now that gives epic rings of quickness. And quickness is really good. Move speed is king, and quickness rings also give a little bit of action speed. Not as much as dex, but still pretty damn good. We have quickness, epic, buff duration. Yeah, look, there's some here for under 200. I'll snag any of these that have physical damage reduction on top of the buff duration. Those are insta buys usually, or action speed like that. Like that's amazing. But yeah, health also is really good. But health is like people know to sell health for more traditionally. But yeah, those are the secondary stats that inform my rings. And I think that pretty much covers the gearing. Again, hopefully you don't have to spend more than like 5,000, but if you are going to use like vestments, a top of helm, and a double PDR buckler, and that's going to be kind of bissed out, you're going to be looking, you know, probably up to the 7, 8, even maybe 10k range, depending on how much money you're spending and, you know, how much you're min-maxing your stats. So we did manage to kill like a giga juiced Rondel fighter during these matches. His kit is added up to be about 20,000 gold. We've only sold about 4, 6, 8, 10, 50. We sold about 14,000 gold. We can claim about 14,000 gold of it, and we have about 6,000 gold left to sell. So his kit was about 20k, and we've already claimed, you know, well, we haven't claimed it, but it's there. We have about 14k out of his 20k kit waiting for us to claim. So I'm going to show you that clip right now. my loot, motherfucker. Got a biscuit, Cracker Barrel, or Popeyes. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Please leave a like and subscribe if you have not already. And hope you enjoyed the video, and hope to see you watching the next one. So yeah, see ya.
You want a bear fight? How much strength you got?
Tonight on ESPN, Bear vs. Bear, we have in the left corner, Skjold! In the right corner, Random Bear! 3, 2, 1, go!
Wait, hold on.
No questions. Fight! I want third party, humble, loyal.
He's humble. He knows my name. Alright. Are you ready, Mr. Bear? What's going on here? So isn't this cleric just gonna third party afterwards?
Nope.
No. If he knows who I am, he knows this is a respectful 1v1 bear fight.
Respectful
How much
1v1.
strength you got?
Respectful
How much strength you got
1v1.
over there? How much strength do I have? What? Are you asking me because you're not geared or you are geared? I'm like mid gear. I mean, it's not crazy, I promise. It's like okay. I'd say it's okay. Okay. I'm at 43 strength. Oh shit. Well, it's up to you.
You have everything to gain and nothing to
I guess.
lose.
Look, I'm honorable. I'll give you your kit back.
Yeah, I'm way up
Alright.
tonight. I ain't gonna do
Let's
nothing.
do it. Alright, Mr. Cleric.
I just want to watch. I've never seen two druids fight
Who
ever.
are you? I'm Stormcarver. I'm Stormcarver. Alright, let's get it. I got
Hey, I'm gonna break these. I'm gonna break these. Alright.
Alright, I will say if you feel like you're gonna die and you leave through the door, then that's just a win.
Alright, on my horn, ready? On my horn, ready? Oh shit. Oh! God damn! Oh! Winnie the Pooh's mad, bro! The honey's gone! Uh-oh. Hang on, there's a goblin. Ah, damn. GG's. I'm not gonna kill you, bro. It's Zep.
What's in that?
Yeah.